Tonight, should women be banned from driving SUVs?
Penis envy.
Matt, shut up for a minute.
Oh! Put the pedal to the metal. It's time to debate. Right here on Crossballs.
Comedians posing as experts.
Pot is good for everyone.
Little girls should know what FB pumps are.
Hunting is self-defense.
I drive drunk all the time.
Debating real people.
I'm not gay. It's totally immoral.
Who don't know the show is fake.
That's a lie. You're an idiot.
Die.
Out of the crossfire, beyond hardball. This is Crossballs.
I'm Chris Tallman. Tonight's topic, driving in America. Gas-guzzling SUVs, rampant road rage, senior citizens plowing down pedestrians. How did our streets become so unsafe, and how can we make a U-turn? With us today are two driving instructors with very different philosophies. First up, an instructor from High Desert Driving School's BRISTLINE. Also with us is the chief instructor of the Ozark Mountain Driving School, Matt Bradley. Question of the day. How do we make roads safer? Now, Ms. BRISTLINE, you teach defensive driving. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's correct. Well, it starts off with the basics. The students got to know where to look, whom to look for, and why they're looking for them.
You just have to use common sense, and you'll drive sensibly. Matt, how do you respond to that?
Well, I believe it's that kind of advice that kills people on the roads, actually. I teach proactive driving.
All right, now, what is that?
Well, you see, defensive driving, it's scared driving is what it is. You're always worried about, okay, I got to follow this far behind the car in front of me based on speed. No, in my school, we're learning how to pass that car. We're not learning how to follow that car. You see, these people, they know what I'm talking about because they live in the real world.
Yeah, and it's that kind of aggressive driving that, in fact, gets people killed. What you need to do is take a deep breath. I think Mom gave the best advice when you were fighting with your sibling, and that was take 5. Wow. Take a couple of minutes.
My parents were divorced, so I don't appreciate that. I lived with my dad. I don't appreciate bringing up my mom.
Let's rein it in a second. Now, what about the basic common things? I'm sure you guys can agree on, like, hands at 10 and 2 o'clock. That's something that's basic driving.
Wrong.
No?
9 and 3. We've got airbags today. You got your hands at 10 and 2. That airbag deploys. You end up with 2 black eyes or 2 broken forearms.
I don't believe in 9 or 3 or 10 and 2. I believe at 1 hand on 12 and 1 hand free to do what you got to do. I got my cell, I got what I'm drinking, I got my CD player. I even teach 1 knee at 6 o'clock, both hands free.
But hang on.
That's how people drive. That's how people drive.
What about the basic idea of, what about your proactive driving is actually kind of encouraging unsafe driving, and doesn't that lead to road rage?
Well, first, road rage exists, just like alcoholism exists. It's a disease, and you shouldn't make fun of it. And I have, are you saying it's not? Road rage is a disease. I'm inflicted with road rage.
You don't think so?
We all have a little road rage, but let me tell you, there's one thing to have it and another thing to act on it. And if you're acting on it, that's a problem.
First off, you're getting a little emotional. Can I say a couple of things here?
Not at all.
Fire away.
Not at all.
And this is going to tick her off, but you're getting emotional because, well, you're a woman, okay?
Oh, is that what...
Hold on. Let me compliment you for a second. Let me compliment you. Women are awesome at gymnastics, it's true, at cooking, at choosing color schemes. That's what you're good at. Men are good at driving. Men are good at driving.
I don't think
All right, we got to move on. We got to move on. 1 out of every 4 new vehicles sold in the U.S. is an SUV. Why are SUVs so popular right now? Matt, let's start with you.
Well, like she was saying earlier, we're in a new road out there. The times are different, and people need a bigger, safer car. That's why they're getting SUVs, because SUVs are bigger and safer. Of course they're safer. When I'm in my SUV, I can see over every car out there.
You might as well hand them a gun.
Let's move on. We have with us here a video, this is from your website, Matt, that examines the important qualifications for owning an SUV. Let's take a look at that.
Do you know what SUV stands for?
Sports utility vehicle.
Nope. Seldomly useful for vagina. Excuse me, ma'am. Can we look inside your boyfriend's SUV?
It's not my boyfriend.
I'm sorry, your husband's SUV?
It's not my husband.
And you drive this around with the baby in it?
Yep.
You feel that's responsible?
I do.
Why are you driving your husband's car today?
It's my car, actually.
Stop fooling me. Stop fooling me. I support the lesbians. I think you guys should be allowed to be married. You know what I'm
That's a good
saying?
stereotype. Yep, girls in trucks, definitely a lesbian.
Is this your mom's car?
No, it's mine.
All right. Are you for gay marriage?
Hell no.
You're not?
Not at all.
Then you gotta get an SUV, my friend.
Why?
Well, you look like a gay marriage supporter, if you know what I'm saying.
I'm not, bro.
All right. Well, it's like you're driving around with a pink dress on, basically.
All right, now, in that you weren't really talking about qualifications, you're just harassing people based off your stereotypes.
This is what I'm saying. A lot of women say, hey, men use the SUV as a phallic symbol. And I believe it too. And let me tell you, everyone, a big penis is something to be admired. A big vagina is not. That's why men should drive SUVs and women should drive small little tight convertibles. You don't want to throw the hot dog down the hallway. You know what I'm saying, Chris?
Whatever hole you crawled out of, crawl back in, my friend. You haven't got it right.
The hole I crawled out of was nice and tight. That's all I gotta say.
Now, coming up, drinking and driving. What do we do about it? It's enough to drive you to drink. This and more on Crossballs when we return.
If you don't know how to do it, I drive drunk all the time.
Welcome back. Tonight's topic, driving in America. Drunk drivers, under control or menace to sobriety. We're here with two driving instructors with drastically different philosophies, KRISTINE and Matt Bradley. Joining us now live via satellite is bartender and taxi driver Jerry Wilson.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, the big question. 3 in every 10 Americans will be involved in an alcohol-related crash in their lifetime. Are we doing enough to solve the drunk driving problem? Jerry.
I'll tell you what the drunk driving problem is the problem is that people don't know how to drink and drive. I feel like the laws unfairly target people like me, people who are professionals. I'm a bartender and a cab driver, so sometimes it's necessary for me to drink and drive.
Well,
but I don't have that now because I lost my license due to a DWI.
Well, I don't understand. You say people have to drink and drive. Why do you have to drink and drive? You're a bartender.
Come on, man. People offer me shots, they buy me drinks, I gotta drink them. If I don't drink them, I don't get tipped as much. And I tell you something else, too. I'm safer than most non-intoxicated drivers. I practice all the time. I practice walking the line and putting my finger to my nose and all stuff like that. I ain't never hit nobody.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it sounds to me like you're not really practicing drunk driving. It sounds like you're practicing for a DUI test, and, I mean, that's not really safe driving at all. Doesn't driving drunk put innocent people in danger, KRISTINE?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, not if you don't know how to do it. Exactly. If you know how to do it like me, I do. I know how to. I drive drunk all the time.
Matt,
I never hit nobody.
That's what I'm talking about, Chris.
You agree with this guy?
Yeah, it's the proactive. If you know how to do it, then do it. That's what the man's saying. I always say, the faster you get home, the faster you can sober up.
Oh, no, that's wrong. Now,
common sense. That's what we teach. Common sense.
That's not common sense. Let's move on. Isn't talking on a cell phone almost as dangerous as driving while intoxicated? Matt.
Yep.
Yes, without question, talking on a cell phone, I'm sure you'll agree with me on this.
Probably the only thing I'll agree with you on.
Well, it is this. Only if you're a woman, it's dangerous. That's the thing.
Whoa.
Hold on. This is the facts. This is the facts, people. When men are on a cell phone, they are TCOB. You know what that means?
I don't dare to
Taking
ask.
care of business, and you don't know because you don't take care of business.
That's usually what they are doing. They're taking care of business, and they're not
Women are
concentrating
doing
on
what?
driving. The phone's not dangerous. It's the person with the phone that makes it dangerous.
I'm not living in a romance novel. I'm living in the real world. People have to multitask. That's what people are doing these days. You got to. In my school, you learn how to do that. You learn how to be on the phone and drive at the same time.
On your website, you talk about something like if you're going to be on the phone, you're going to drive in English. What does that even mean, drive in English?
You messed up what I say. I said that bilingual speaking people that know 2 languages or more, are more dangerous on the cell phone than people who only know 1 language, because they have more than 1 language going through their head while they're driving. So they got, it's true, if you have more than 1 language, you're going more than one's going through your head. And if you're a woman, you're gossiping to such a point that you're getting in an excited state, and I wouldn't trust you driving anything heavier than a shopping cart.
All right, we are... don't clap. Don't clap for yourself.
Well, no one else is.
Well, there's a good reason for that. We're running out of time. Let's jump into the quick balls round. With so many new cars coming loaded with GPS maps, we've got high-tech stereo systems, even DVD players, drivers are more distracted than ever. What distraction is the most dangerous? Quick balls go, Matt!
Chris, it would have to be vanity plates. Everybody these days has a vanity plate, and people are always trying to drive up on a vanity plate going, what does that say? I'm trying to read it, and that causes accidents. That's why in my school, I'm sure Dr. Death over there doesn't teach this. At my school, we teach speed reading of vanity plates, so people can know right away. If it says 2HTCKZ, I know 2 hot chicks are driving, maybe lesbians.
Oh, God. Rebound
See,
to you.
I'm not homophobic.
Rebound to you, Christine.
I think he's got some sexual issues.
Well,
Yeah, I get it too much. Ow, ow.
next up, a concerned mother who thinks 55 is the limit, not for speed, but for age.
I think your opinion is convoluted like your brain.
Should marijuana be easier to buy than aspirin?
I think we all agree that pot is good for everyone.
I'm not going to respond to your height.
Joining us now is senior driving advocate Kai Hernandez and the founder of Mothers Against Advanced Age Drivers, Mary Glenn. In the next 20 years, the number of elderly drivers is predicted to triple in the United States. Ms. Hernandez, should we be worried about the elderly on the road?
I don't think so, unless you're going to be worrying about yourself. Because in 20 years, you're going to be elderly as well.
Oh, really? Okay. So you think elderly are just as good drivers at any age? Really?
Better.
But Mary, how do you respond to that?
Chris, our philosophy is simple and it's logical. I mean, as teenagers, we are people who are learning how to drive. So we start giving them driving privileges.
Sure.
Now, the elderly, we like to think of as they're unlearning how to drive. So we need to start taking away their privileges. And we need to start testing them on an annual basis, starting at 55.
Starting at 55?
At 55.
You and what army?
Wow.
A mighty big army.
You're talking about taking away drivers' rights, and I mean, can't there be some moderation to that?
Well, I think there can. I mean, I think, for example, every senior should have a few questions they ask themselves if they're going to leave the house and get on the road. Do I really need to go there? Do I really need to watch another episode of Murder, She Wrote with a friend? Can I watch it by myself? Do I really need to go to the mall and yell at teenagers again?
Well,
no, I don't. I can stay at home and I can order some food in and yell at my next-door neighbor if I want to. Do I need to go to another garage sale and buy more knickknacks? No, I don't. I have enough knickknacks.
You're trivializing the elderly.
I do not at all mean to disrespect my elders or senior citizens. And as a matter of fact, I feel like if seniors do feel, and sometimes they have a right to feel like their dignity might be, being tampered with, their privileges are being taken away, give them different privileges. Give them free pass to cut in line at the government building.
Excuse me.
Give
I am sick
them
of it.
respectable
I am
titles.
sick of it. I'm sick of it, okay? You're full of it, honey. I hate to be that.
I'm full of it, all right. I'm full of fear.
Let's move on, ladies. Let's move on. I understand you've done your own studies into the effects of aging on driving ability.
Yes, Chris, we've done extensive study, and part of that study, we came up with what we call our senior suit.
This is some video we're going to see now of a driving simulation involving a senior suit. Take a look.
At MAD, Mothers Against Advanced Age Driving, this is what we call our advanced age suit. Now, this suit is pretty heavy, which makes you move very slowly, because senior drivers don't have that much mobility. They really, truly don't. Look, I just moved my arm like an old person. Just like that. These goggles help you see the road like a senior would. I have to say, I can't see the road very good. And I can't really hear too well with these headphones on either. Just like a senior can't hear the road. And you have to remember that it's... Oh, these headphones also play nonsensical phrases, just like the kind of thing that would pop into a senior's head. Very, very distracting. Now, we all know that seniors shrink from osteoporosis. So this car is fitted with a visibility impediment to simulate their low height. So, just like a senior, I'll barely be able to see over the dashboard. Now, one of the things you always need to remember is that... okay, here we go. Whoops. The way you see the road might not be the way a senior does. Oh, whoops. Okay. Now, it looks easy for us. Oh, whoops. But it's not so easy for a senior. I guess it must feel pretty scary being an advanced age driver. But if you think advanced age driving is a good idea, look at that. If there were small children standing on those cones, this could have been a real tragedy.
Is that an accurate representation of how elderly people drive?
Absolutely not.
What can
No
be done
way.
to protect the public from another tragedy at the hands of an elderly driver? Now, Ms. Glenn, your organization is actually working to create a solution to this problem. What is that?
We're very solution-oriented, Chris, and one thing I think we can all agree on that's not terribly invasive is to paint the cars of seniors bright orange, neon.
What? Paint them?
Not unlike a student driver has to drive in a marked car to say, hey, look out, I'm a student driver. Hey, look out, I'm a senior driver. My vision might be impaired.
Excuse me, I think your opinion is convoluted like your brain. Okay?
Wow.
They're saying you can drive, you just have to drive a neon orange car. It's just for safety. Wait a minute. How do we know she's not going to go senile just like that? We all know people don't just gradually go senile. It just happens one day all of a sudden, and all of a sudden you're going through a farmer's market.
Well, hang on.
Wait a minute.
It happened, people. It happened. Are we going to deny that?
Hold it right there.
Ma'am, you're getting
Mr.
very,
Weller
very
was a
emotional, and I
man
would not
of
like to see you behind the
87
wheel
years
of
of
the
age.
stage.
So where's the age? Where do you draw the line?
87 years of age.
So what's the line?
I believe that his family should have and tested.
Some people and not other people.
All people at a certain age.
Irregardless of age. It shouldn't be age specific. Simply because they're
There's no
elderly
such
doesn't
word
mean
as
that they're safe.
irregardless.
And-
All right,
and-
hold on. We got to move on. We are running out of time.
There's no such
Folks,
word as
We're
irregardless. You know
going
what she's talking
into
about.
the quick balls round. Here we go. Are elderly people capable of deciding when they should stop driving? Quick balls, go, Mary.
No. You can file down their keys. You can put sugar in their gas tank. You can cut their battery wires if it's going to save their life. Listen to me. My father, I had to resort to slashing his tires. Why? Because I want my father to stay
All
alive.
right, rebound to you, Kai. Does that sound reasonable?
It doesn't sound unreasonable. However, I still say that it's on an individual basis.
Bounce back to you, Matt.
There should be signs out there that make noise, like a stop sign that says "stop" when you come up to it, or it sounds off a horn, because old people can't hear as well. If you're going to deny that, then you're denying the facts of life.
All right, coming up, one expert says that old drivers still have got gas left in the tank. More crossballs when we return. Welcome back. Tonight's topic, driving in America. Joining us now live via satellite are outspoken advocates for elderly drivers, Andrew and Barbara Fredericks. Mr. Fredericks, can you lean a little bit to your? Can you lean into your right a little bit?
What's the matter? Say it again.
Just lean into your. No, the other way. You're actually out of the picture. Can you lean a little bit to your right?
They need us to get up closer, Barbara.
No.
Let's go up closer to it, because if they can't see us,
No, Mr.
it's a
Fredericks.
visual medium. Barbara, do you need to move up your chair up?
No, Mr. Fredericks, what I was saying, actually, if you could stay in your seat, I just
Where do you
need
want us? Because we'll go wherever you want us.
Stay back in your seat.
All right.
And
I
just
thought
need
you
to-
couldn't see me, was what I heard.
Right.
Look, he's not driving.
What is it?
That's fine. Thank you, sir. All right, it's time for the real question. Mr. Fredericks,
Yes.
should the public be wary of advanced age drivers?
Now, Chris, I would be a lying Johnson if I told you that senior citizen drivers didn't lose some of their driving dexterity as we get older, but we make up for it with wisdom. I call it road sage. Now, I realize that there are problems. Very often a senior driver will, when he means to hit the brake, will hit the gas instead. Now, I am open to a system whereby the car asks you, if you hit the gas, it asks you, you sure you want to hit the gas? And then you would type or say yes, and then the car would respond. What I do in the meantime, Chris, is I already used my right foot for the gas and my left for the brake, and it works terrific. But listen, let me say one more thing, Chris. My son-in-law is always telling me, why don't you take the bus? I can't take the bus. I can't hear the driver calling out the stops. Do you know, the last time that I took a bus, I rode it all the way back to the bus yard, you know, and I got a pretty good night's sleep there, but I didn't get off that bus until 2 o'clock the next afternoon, and paramedics dragged me off. I was practically dehydrated.
Ms. Hernandez, are these common problems for seniors? This seems...
No. He's pretty unique because most drivers who have the ability to drive unimpaired.
Right.
Senior citizens I'm referring to.
Sure.
That's what we are.
Well, let's move on. Should we be more worried about young drivers than older drivers? Mr. Fredericks?
Yes.
Let's have your wife respond to this one.
No, I'll handle this one. She takes a long time to get to the point. It's true, if you know what I'm talking about. I say we should raise the driving age from 16 to 50.
Raise it to 50 years old?
That's absolutely right. Because teenage drivers are all distracted with their disco music on the radio and their cell phones. I can't use a cell phone. Forget about it. All right? I can't use it. And I'm also not going to be hanging out the window trying to flirt with girls. I wouldn't know what to do with them if they said yes. I wouldn't. And I'll tell you what else. I'm not going to be cruising up and down the boulevard on a Saturday night trying to look for people I know, because everybody I know is dead.
Let's move on. Folks, we are out of time. I'm going to give the last word to Andrew Fredericks. Mr. Fredericks, last word to you.
All right, listen, yes, it's true that senior citizens sometimes do kill people with their driving. That is true. But put it in perspective. It's one of the only ways that we have of killing people. I don't have the strength to stab somebody or to aim a gun. Forget about it. And since I'm so much less dangerous in those other areas, can't I be allowed to be more dangerous behind the wheel?
All right, we will see you next time when more experts get caught between the crossballs. Good night.
Last Comic Standing with Jay Moore. The search for the best new stand-up in America continues Saturday at 8 with an all-new episode right here.
Take my wife, please. Take my wife, please. Take her.
It's not an easy search. Comedy Central's Summer Movie Megaplex presents Blue Collar Comedy Tour. 4 stand-up comedians, 1 comedy tour, and an auditorium jammed with rednecks. The Blue Collar Comedy Tour, Monday at 7:30. Summer Movies and Comedy Central. It's so right.